So last two classes we have discussed about 6 different components that are required for any electrical vehicle or hybrid electrical vehicle. So especially in this unit, we are going to discuss about the different machineries. Different machineries in the sense, what are all the type of AC or DC machine, controllers, and what are all the battery pack that we are going to use. Okay, so apart from these three, we are also going to study about real-time monitor and what are the gearbox arrangement. What is the need a single gear, especially for a two different speed. So without gear, also how we can able to do the concept of drives. That also we are going to see. So this complete unit we already started, and we have discussed about that. What are the different motors? What is the principle of operation of any motor? How DC motor is working. So now, very importantly, you should know because you are all from the different background, non-electrical background, different other engineering background. You should know or you should recollect what are all the classifications of electrical motors. So especially we are having three different kind of motors. So we can able to it is broadly classified. One is a DC machine. One is a DC machine. So especially we have seen the motor principle and as well as whatever maybe the what is a how it is working, what are the different way it is having a winding. So actually what is a problem with the carbon brushes, that is commutator arrangement. Okay, how that particular commutator help us to have a continuous rotation of motor, etc. We have seen that. So in the DC machine there is a broadly, it's broadly classified as a three different type. That is a series motor, DC series motor, and DC self and separately excited motor. Here, why it is separately excited motor is given is, so instead of having a control over the armature voltage that we have seen last time, we can have, okay, so we can have a exclusive control over the armature voltage instead of having a combined together. So because whenever we are having a parallel excitation from the same supply, it may reflect. So I don't want to touch the field side. I only want to have armature control. So that's why it is separately excited. Field is separately excited. And another one is type is compound motor. In this compound motor, we are going to have two different windings. So that is both series as well as parallel winding. So in that also there is a two different configuration also is there. A differentially compounded, cumulatively compounded. So what is that we'll see. Okay. What is that we'll see. See, especially actually in case of electrical vehicle applications, normally we are using shunt motors only. So because we know that what is the disadvantages of series motor? Series motor is capable of producing very high torque only during the initial position when lightly loaded. As far as the vehicle is concerned, we all know that it is dead weight itself having some weight. So beyond that, of course, the series motor should be always started with a loaded condition only. But when it is speed is increasing, okay, when the speed has to be increased, so automatically there won't be any much torque can be produced. That is a very big disadvantages. So we can able to a lot of disadvantages it is having. Okay, so we can able to omit. So as far as other concerns, that is seriously and parallel excited, we'll see how it looks like. Okay, I'm having a armature. Suppose if it is armature, okay, if it is armature, I'm having definitely I may have, okay. I'm having arrangement like this. Okay, so above which, so I'm having a armature. Okay, so in that case, I may have two different winding. As far as the DC machine is concerned, I may have two different windings. So if it is a parallelly excited, we already know that whatever may be the field coil, okay, whatever may be the starting of field coil, it is shared with the armature, one end of the armature. Okay, one end of the armature. So here I am mentioning in the carbon brushes, okay, where it is connected. So we are all know that this wire is going to have once again having a winding inside the armature, but it is also offering resistance, because here I am only considering about the resistance, because I am not considering anything about the inductance and capacitance, because it is a DC. As far as the DC supply is concerned, all the inductors are, it is similar to that of short circuit, that is it is having a no resistance. All the capacitors are, it is similar to that of open circuit. Okay, so inductor is a short circuit and capacitors are open circuit as per the DC supply weak. Okay, so only case of inductor will come into the picture when there is a change in the current. Only case of capacitance will be coming into the picture only if there is a change in voltage. So as far as the DC is concerned, there won't be any change in voltage, so it is going to be fixed. Okay, it is going to be having, okay, if you are drawn the particular one, okay, with respect to time, okay, with respect to time and amplitude, it is going to be a fixed voltage. Okay, only thing is I can able to move, I can able to increase or decrease this voltage only, but it will not vary. So after that particular one, it will remain going to be same irrespective of the time. So the capacitance concept cannot be existed. Likewise, inductance concept, it is similar to that of open wire only, even though I'm having a wounded one. Okay, here I need not to consider about the inductance. Okay, there won't be any inductance, only resistance, because inductance will be existing only when the di by dt concept is in there. Change in the current with respect to change in the time. Okay, so how much is the change in the current with respect to, but as far as here, if you see the voltage and current also, I can able to say it is follow, okay, whatever the magnitude, it is going to be the same constant only. So there won't be any, it is not there. Okay, it is not there. So, as far as this concerned, we are only going to have armature resistance. Resistance only is going to be existing. And likewise, here also, even though it is in a coil form, here there won't be any inductance. Here we are only going to have a field resistance. Field resistance. So, if I am having a arrangement like this, okay, so parallel. So, whatever may be the plus, here it is plus, and here it is minus. Okay, so this is called a parallel connection, that is parallel DC motor connection. So instead of that, if I'm having a, coil like this, in series with the armature circuit, automatically that will that will make whatever may be the current, okay, that is flowing through, okay, current, armature current is equal to field current. So armature current is going to be the field current. Okay, earlier it was not like that, the separate current. So automatically this is called series motor. Why it is called series motor? So whatever may be the current that is passing through the field coil, because now the coil is connected in series with armature instead of parallel. So this is going to be in series with armature. That is why it is called series motor. Earlier connection is having a parallel to the armature coil. That is why it is called as a parallel motor. Suppose instead of this, I'm having, I'm let it be the separate connection. If I'm having, I'm not connecting anything. Okay, I'm simply having a armature like this, but instead of that field, I'm having a separate connection. Suppose if I'm having a field, okay, I'm having a separate connection means okay, I'm having a field, a separate connection. Here a certain voltage is applied. So here I'm having a field. So I'm having a two different connection. One is exclusively for the armature and another one is for the field. But whereas the field also is same voltage need to apply, or maybe at a different voltage also we can have. It depends upon the field strength required. So automatically what will happen is, so I can able to control this. I can able to control this provided I can have a control over here. Okay. So in that case, I need not to okay worry about the particular field excitation. This is called separately excited. That's what in a particular thing we are seeing that separately excited. What is a series coil? Series coil is nothing but field coil is connected to the armature coil in series. What is separately excited? Separately excited is nothing but a field coil is separately excited by a voltage source. It is not having electrically connected with the armature coil. Okay, armature coil is separately connected. So it is called separately excited. So here, this portion is called excitation. This portion is called excitation. That is why I call it as a separately excited. Okay. So in another one form also is there. In another one form also is there. That is, we can have both winding. We can have both winding. That means both and series and so now I'm having a two different field coils. Two different field coils. In the two different field coils, why there is a need of two different field coil means I will explain. So here I may have series coil also will be there. Okay, in addition to that, parallel coil also will be there. I'm having a two different winding. Okay, this is called compound motor because I'm having a both series coil. That is what is a coil with a armature I am having. That is having a one coil. Okay, series and also I'm having a compound. So since it is having a both coil, series field winding and parallel field winding, I can able to say compound motor. What is a very big advantage is so whenever I'm having a differentially compounded motor, that means so if this connection is there, if I'm having a speed torque characteristics, if I'm having a speed torque characteristics, suppose if I'm having okay speed, okay sorry, okay if I'm having a speed and torque. Okay, so I am having, suppose if it is IL, suppose for example, load current. So torque is automatically produced by the load current. So if I'm having such arrangement, so in one form, a differentially compound motor, if motor will exhibit increasing in speed with the increasing in load up to certain extent. So this is a very peculiar and different characteristics that can be exhibited by a compound motor only. When the load is keep on increasing, it can able to increase its speed. It is able to increase its speed, okay, from the normal speed to increasing. So whenever load is increasing, so no motor can exhibit such a characteristics, whether it is AC or DC, except the compound motor. So in another form, suppose if I reverse this field, suppose if I'm having a F and FF, F and FF. If it is a S and SS, I'm keeping S and SS as it is, but I'm interchanging. Now I'm interchanging the position. I'm bringing FF here, okay, and F. I'm just making okay. So this F I've taken. So this means I'm just reversing this field means automatically that is called cumulatively compounded. This what will happen is what is the advantage of this is so very long time it is capable of producing a constant torque. Okay, constant torque. What will- So it is capable of producing very constant time, but after a certain time only it is decreasing. Okay, so this is what a cumulatively compound motor. We are having two different connection. One is a differentially compounded. So when it is called a differentially compounded is so actually what is happening is in earlier connection, that is when the load is increasing, speed also increasing. In that configuration, what is it is happening is this field is opposing the series field. What is a parallel field effect, magnetic field? It is opposing the series field effect. So because of that, when the load is keep on increasing, series field is getting more strength. So it is tend to increasing the speed only. So automatically this having a fixed. So because whenever I'm connected to a voltage which is parallel, automatically it will draw the fixed only. But armature current will be keep on increasing when the load is increasing. So automatically a difference between this field only it is exhibiting in the performance of motor. That is why it is called differently compounded. But cumulatively compounded means this field is supporting. This field is supporting. So automatically the power is shared by that. So that is why it is somehow able to maintain some constant torque. Okay, constant for some region. So this is what up to this is knowing is enough. Okay, differentially compounded motor. Okay. So three different. One is a series motor, and another one is separately excited motor. That is due to the that is parallel motor. We can also call it as a parallel motor, but excitation is separately. Compound motor is having a two different connection. That is one is having a series field strength is opposing parallel field strength. That is called differentially compounded motor. One is having a series field is supporting with a parallel field. Okay, automatically that will be called as cumulatively compounded motor. So next type is these are the three types only. Next type is AC machine. In AC machine, induction machine.
Hello, sir. எனக்கு மட்டும் தானே எல்லாருக்குமேவா? ம்.
எல்லாத்துக்கும் தான்டா.
Okay.
Hello, are you able to hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what about the video? You are not seeing. You are not seeing so far.
No, sir. No, sir. No video so far.
Voice came, huh?
Yeah, sir. Voice came, sir.
Right, right. Okay, okay. I'll try to present it 1 second. Are you all able to see now the screen?
No, no, sir.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Now it came.
Yes.
Okay. 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 So now it's visible, no? Okay. Hello. Hello. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is about a classification of electrical motors only. So we are having a three different type, three broad classification. One is as a DC machine and another one is a AC machine. In the particular, another one category is stepper motor and switch reluctance machines. Okay. So of course, the first two category is very, very important. The third category is exclusively for, it is called as a special electrical machines. It is for some of the stepped outputs, some of the special outputs required only we are going to use the machine. So of course, these machines, especially switch reluctance machine, we are going to consider it for the electrical vehicle operation also, but we are not going to consider stepper motor. So because the output of the stepper motor will be in the stepped manner, so there is no need of any such a uh, stepped output as far as in case of electrical vehicle. But of course, inside the particular electrical vehicle for so many other purposes, okay, we may need a stepper motor, so which need to be operated, especially wiper and all. So other purposes we are using for mainly for the power propulsion. Okay, so whatever the propulsion power required, so we are only going to talk about the first two category along with the switch reluctance machine. So as far as a DC machine, already I have shown. Okay, I have shown. I have given what is our DC motor, how it is working, what is the principle of operation. See, in any electromagnetic field, if you are keeping the current carrying conductor, it will experiences the forces. That is the principle of any DC machine. So based on that, we are going to have three different connections we are having. One is a series connection, and another one is a parallel but separately excited, and another one is a compound motor. So in case of series connection, this will be the series connection we already know. So if any motor is there, so my field coil will be connected in series with that. So this is my field coil. So this is going to be connected with the armature coil. So I am going to straight away give the supply. So this is my series motor. So I am going to give the voltage. So this is my series field coil FF, and this is my armature starting end. Then this is armature outlet. So A. So if you see inside that, I am going to have, okay, armature coil. It is going to exclusively exhibit its own resistance. Usually the resistance is we are calling it as a armature resistance. We are naming it as RA. Okay, so whatever with the field coil, it is also going to exhibit a resistance. Okay, so RF field coil resistance. So as far as this is concerned, even though I'm having it in a coil shaped, it is not going to exhibit any inductance because we are going to deal with the DC supply only. As far as the DC supply, whether it is coil, okay, or a straight conductor, it is only going to consider its resistance because we very well know that inductor, okay, inductor will concept will be coming to the picture when there is a change in the current. So with respect to the time, for change in the time, how much the change in the current. As far as DC supply, no, we are all very well know that it is going to be a straight line. So there won't be any change. Suppose if I draw, okay, T and voltage or current if I am taking. Okay. So suppose this is the voltage means as a result of that some current will be there. That also is going to be a straight line only. So with respect to time, it is not going to change. So automatically di by dt will be zero. Di by dt will be zero. Okay. In case of a DC supply, automatically there won't be any inductance. So it will purely take its own resistance only. What is a field coil resistance? Alone will be taken. Okay. Alone will be taken by the supply. So the same way, if I am having, so instead of this one, okay, so now what happened? Supply current is entering in field coil, the same current is going through the armature coil and come back to the negative supply. So in a conventional power supply, okay, this is called series connection, series DC motor. This is called series DC motor. In the same power supply, if I am removing this coil, I am only going to have, okay, I am only going to have a motor is there. Sorry, motor is there. Okay. only I'm going to supply, but whereas field coil, I'm going to have a separate supply. I'm going to have a separate supply, not inside this one. Automatically, that will be called as a separately excited motor. Okay, so that is what I have shown. That is what I have shown here. Okay, so earlier. Okay, okay. So in this case, a separately excited. So I am having a armature connection is there that will be excited by one supply. My field coil is parallel. So parallel. So automatically this will be called parallel, but it is separately excited. We cannot say it's a parallel. It is separately excited. So I can have an individual control. Okay, I can have individual control without affecting the armature. Okay, I can have a field control by which I can vary the speed of the motor. Okay, so without sacrificing the torque. Okay, very low speed to up to a rated speed. Likewise, I can able to have control over that. So this configuration only we are going to have as a separately excited DC motor. If the same thing, if the same thing, I am having a both a connection in the same motor. I am having a both series field and parallel field. Okay, I am having a two field coils. One is in series with armature, and another one is parallel with armature. This motor is called as compound motor. This motor is going to have a compound motor. So these three type of motor. So of course, out of these three, we are not going to use a stepper motor. Okay, we are not going to use a stepper motor because it is here in electrical vehicle application, or whether it is a hybrid electric vehicle also, it is not going to contribute anything to the power propulsion. So because it is going to be stepped output, we don't need any stepped output as far as the power propulsion is concerned. So we are only interested in switch electric motor. The second important type is AC machine, induction machine. Okay, so this induction machine working with a principle that, so whenever a current stator is connected, suppose if I'm having a stator, if I'm having a, if I'm feeding the stator, suppose if it's a three phase means, if I'm feeding the particular one, okay, automatically, so if I'm having a three phase connection like this, okay, so each having 120-degree apart, okay, so likewise if I'm having means, automatically this will produce a rotating magnetic field inside the particular machine. So automatically, unlike a DC machine, here rotors are not connected electrically. Okay, through a coupling, magnetic coupling only, there will be induced EMF in the rotor of the motor. Okay, AC machine, suppose induction machine. So automatically, what will happen whenever a rotating magnetic field is there, it will it make cut the rotor winding fluxes. Okay, rotor winding. Okay, the flux will be cut by the rotor winding. So whenever there is a flux cutting in the rotor winding, there will be induced EMF. So according to Lenz's law, in order to oppose the cause, it starts rotating in the same direction as that of the rotating magnetic field. So automatically there will be a rotation. So but because it is not able to catch up with the rotating revolving magnetic field, so there will be always slip. So suppose if I'm saying that synchronous speed, so ns is equal to 120 f by p, 120 f by p. So here f is nothing but frequency of the supply. Frequency of the supply. So here P is a number of poles. So if I'm assuming this pole is a constant, so whatever if the frequency is varying, accordingly, the speed at which rotating magnetic field is there, it will be keep on going to vary, keep on going to vary. Okay. But whenever its rotor is rotating, because of the induced EMF, it opposes the cause. It starts rotating in the same direction as that of the rotating magnetic field. It will not catch up. It will not catch up. So automatically normal speed of the rotor, okay, there will be a gap. So always ns will be greater than nr, rotor speed. Okay, here it is a stator speed means no rotating, not stator is not rotating, magnetic field is rotating. Suppose if you want to have both is equal means I am going for a synchronous machine. So what is a rotating field, magnetic field? The same way I can able to make it as a rotor also. So by means of an external arrangement, by which initially it will be starting. Initially, synchronous speed will be more than rotor speed. By means of external arrangement, by external supply to the rotor. Here, what is the thing is, it will be similar to that of DC machine. Rotor need to be supply with a DC supply that will produce a pull-in torque that will make okay that there is a pull which make the rotor rotate with the same speed as that of the stator. That means rotating magnetic field. So here, these are all the different classifications of DC motors. We are going to see, already we have seen that. We have seen how DC motors working. So now we are going to see how AC motors work. Are you all able to see the videos? We- Now it is opening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a induction motor. Actually, it was invented by Nicholas Tesla. So in industry, if you see that 90% of the motors are induction motors only. So 90% of the motors in industries are induction motor only. Out of the uh, global consumption, okay, global consumption for the electrical appliances, out overall 50 percentage of load to the electrical is induction motor only. So 90 percentage of the motor in industries are induction motor. Out of 50 percentage is exclusively we are out of the power generated power in the world. 50 percentage exclusively we are spending on the induction motor only. Remaining 50 percentage only lighting, other motors, electrical furnace, and etc. 50 percentage load is induction motor. So that much popular. Okay, so he invented that induction motor. What is the main advantage is it is completely we can stop with the stationary supply. We need not to worry about the rotor side because it is not going to be electrically connected. Of course, the induced EMF will be there. That induced EMF using a N rings short circuited or using a skewed bars, we can able to minimize. So the problem of insulation, rotor insulation, and etc. Okay, so and very importantly, it is capable of producing. Okay, it is capable of producing a variable speed by so many means. If you change the poles, if you change the supply frequency, so many means I can able to change the speed. So after the power electronics concept were emerged, after the concept of power electronics and after the manufacturing of the switches, okay, power electronic switches like SCR, okay, mainly SCR, they are all very in a very high quality, that is a very quantity manner. So because of the advancement in the power electronics converter configuration also, we can able to very well change the supply frequency. We need not to go for any pole changing or number of poles engaging. Instead of going a hardware setup, I can able to control over the supply side. Okay, by means I can able to control the voltage as well as frequency very easily because of the converter configurations developed that we are going to see continuously. Okay, now we will see how the induction motor is really working. Now I think you are able to visualize what is happening. So whenever we had, okay, whenever we had three different coils are there, that will be energized by three different phases. So that will be energized by three different phases, especially when we are having, okay, when we are having a second. Okay, so three different coils are there. So usually we will call it as R, Y, B phase. Okay, RYB. RYB means, so usually red, yellow, blue color like that it will be getting. So that's why it is given like that only. Three different phases we are going to use. So what is the main thing is, whenever we are seeing in terms of a sinusoidal wave, so it is going to have three different phases. Suppose if I am assuming this is a reference R phase, okay, so compare with the R phase, B phase, Y phase will be 120 degree. Okay, 120 degree lagging. So whereas this will be 240 degree. So I'm taking this as a reference. So exactly when it is reaching, so exactly when it is reaching, say for example, this is a 180 and this is another 180, it is making a complete rotation. That is 360 degree. So, okay. So in terms of angle, you can if I measure that, this will be 90, this will be pi. This will be equal to pi. This will be equal to 2 pi. Okay. So when this happening, so automatically Y phase will be coming to the picture exactly here is 90, it is 180 means here. Here only it is going to starts. Here only it is going to starts. Likewise 140. So minus 240. So in a 360 degree, instead of saying a minus 240, okay, I can have minus 240 means I can have a different way plus 120. So before it is coming to the picture, I can able to show like this 120 like this. So if you see that as a result of that, okay, so three different waveform. This is a B and this is a Y phase. Y. So that is what here we are supplying. That is what we are supplying. So because this is keep on varying, magnitude is keep on varying, the voltage magnitude is keep on varying. So because of that, the current also keep on varying. So whatever the current that is following in the particular one, it's also going to keep on varying only. So because of that, what happening, the magnetic field, okay, the magnetic field also will be keep on varying. So how it looks like this is, it is similar to that because one phase it is coming. So when one phase is zero, another one phase in the rising. Okay. As a result of that, this will be taken by this phase. So when it is remaining two phases are not producing any magnetic field, it will be carrying by one. Okay. Whereas in the opposite direction by the other one. Okay. Opposite direction by the other. So as a result of that, it seems that there will be a rotating magnetic field. There will be a rotating magnetic field. So a fixed, but with a high strength. With a high strength. So as a result of that, what will happen? I'm having a here. If you see that, it is a coil. It is a coil. Okay, it is a coil-like arrangement we are having. Okay, this is a closed one. Closed to one. There is no any provision for external supply. It is short circuited. End rings. Here, suppose I'm having two terminals means that end rings are short circuited. So automatically, when there is a induced EMF, there will be a current flow also here. So that will producing a torque. Okay, as I already told, in order to oppose the cause, it starts rotating in the same direction as that of the rotating magnetic field. In what direction rotating magnetic field rotating? This coil also having rotation in the same direction. Okay, so if I'm having a multiple number of coils like this, automatically it will experience a very high force. That's what explaining now. So here you are having a squirrel cage rotor. So what I mean to say is, here I am instead of having a coil, okay, so rotor side, I am having exactly with a parallel to this, I am slightly it's making an angle. Slightly it's making an angle because in order to avoid the magnetic clogging. Magnetic clogging. Because when there is an induced EMF, so automatically whatever the torque will be produced will be balanced by another one. Okay, automatically instead of that, there won't be any rotation. So intentionally to have a rotation, we are having a skewed bars. This is called skewed bars, which we see that will not be uh, like this. Okay, so that will not be like exactly like this. Okay, on the circumference of the rotor. Instead, it will be like this. Instead, it will be like this on the circumference of the rotor. So automatically this will make a skewed. If you see that here, you can make it is skewed bars. So in order to avoid the magnetic clogging. So this is how a magnetic field is keep on rotating. So automatically it will automatically cut induced EMF. That induced EMF is okay. So this induced EMF will be opposed the cause. So automatically, in order to oppose the cause, it starts. They see the rotor also rotating in the same direction as that of the rotating magnetic field, the same direction. So rotor is actually is a thin. Okay, so a thin a slice like that. They will be keeping put together. So especially with the making an angle with a skewed angle. It will not be exactly parallel to the shaft. It will not be exactly parallel to the shaft. If you see that compared to the parallel, the arrangement of skewed bars having making certain angle. Why means so the speed of the rotor. Okay, speed of the rotor maybe at the magnetic locking it may be come to end. Okay, so in order to avoid that only they are using. So whenever a particular speed is tried to make exactly with the synchronous speed of the rotating magnetic field, automatically at that time what will happen? So no EMF, no current will be there. No EMF, no current will be there. Okay, so when it is increasing, when the synchronous speed is increasing, if there is any difference between the synchronous speed and rotor speed only, there will be induced EMF. There will be a induced EMF. So that EMF making a current, okay, which is end rings are closed, short circuited, automatically at that instant. See here only it will start initially start building the rotation. So this is usually called as a slip speed. Usually we are calling it as a slip speed. Slip speed. So what is the difference between the synchronous speed? That is, it is nothing but ns is nothing but at what speed it is rotating. Magnetic field. At what field? Magnetic field is rotating. So this magnetic field. So this nr is nothing but what is the speed at which rotor is rotating. If you are divided by ns, when rotor speed is less than the ns, this value percentage value will be usually 2 to 6 percentage. So this is called slip value. So 2 to 3, 6 percentage without any load. Without any load. If you are loaded the motor, automatically rotor speed because of the load, rotor speed will be coming very much low. Very much low. So because of that, it may increase. So this 2 percentage maybe we can assume that no load slip value. No load. No load slip percentage. That means if I am having a 50 hertz frequency, I am having a pair of poles. If synchronous speed of the particular one, because of the 50 hertz supply, if it is 1500 RPM, okay, so 1500 RPM, so my rotor speed will be around if it is 2 percentage. 2 percentage if you are taken means around 20. So 5 into another 20, 100. So maybe around 1400, roughly speaking, 1440 RPM, 1440 RPM. So even without load, if I'm having an arrangement like this queued bars, I'm supplying the supply frequency with the 50 hertz. Okay, if it is rotating in 1500, even without load, my rotor will be start. Initial speed will be 1440 RPM only. If you calculated that, it may be 2%. This may be reduced further if I'm adding the load. If I keep on adding the load, 1440 to 1300, 1200, it may be coming. Okay, so that is the important concept of. So why it so it is explained now. There is no any permanent magnet. Okay, so yes, very importantly, no brushes. There is no brushes. So unlike a DC motor, DC motor, what is the problem? We have to give electrical connection to the rotor also. So how to make? We are having a continuous current to the rotor. That way having okay current flow. We have to make it in opposite direction. Okay, so we have to split okay rotor into a number of parts. There we are saying that commutator. So there is no any such a arrangement. So whatever the energy or power we are given to the stator by means of a magnetic coupling, electromagnetic coupling only, the power is transmitted to the rotor. Okay, by the principle called induction principle. So induced EMF, that's why it's called induction motor. That induced EMF only facilitating the rotation. So that is why it is called induction motor. So because of no brushes, no commutator rings, so there is no need of any position sensor. So with this advancement, okay, with this there is so many nodes, no permanent magnet and etc. It make very simple construction and rigid also. So we can able to make use this motor in a very hard and dirty. So because of course the yoke will be there, it will be completely enclosed. So in order to make away the heat inside the motor, we are having a fan which is coupled in the back automatically. That will pull out. Okay, that will pull all the heat generated and maybe liberated to the atmosphere. So only those ducts will be there. So very high torque is possible, speed control is possible. So it is very much suitable for electrical vehicle applications. Okay, this is the reason why, especially Tesla, they have identified whatever may be the model Tesla 3 and etc. All these models they are used only induction motors, because so if you use the DC motor, what will happen? There is a concept of whether we are going for permanent magnet or electromagnet. Then next immediately there is no any means to avoid the brushes, commutator rings. So automatically when you want to control the speed of the motor, there is a need of position sensor rings. So all the complexity will be coming to the picture. Okay, but all the complexity is averted. That is, we can avoid it if we have selected the induction motor. This is the reason why our Tesla, okay, the modern electrical vehicle, including in a hybrid electrical vehicle. Some of the hybrid electrical vehicle manufacturers also they are used induction motor for the certain percentage of hybridization of electrical vehicle. Okay, so with this I am stopping. Okay, with this I am stopping because the rest of the portion we will see. Okay, next class. Any clarification? Any clarification? Any clarification? Any clarification?
No, sir.
Okay. Oh, voice low, ah? Voice low. Somebody mentioned. Venu Aravind. Voice is low. Okay, we'll take attendance. Somebody, some music is playing. Mute it.